Do you think I'm the lead of being in my own way?
Dun, dun, dun.
That's what we're talking about today. You're in your own way. Get the fuck out of it. Get out of your own way.
I'm having a trip.
You're having a trip?
No, I'm gonna trip.
Don't trip.
I'm gonna trip. I'm not coordinated. I'm not coordinated.
Usually illegal.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So what does it mean to be? Oh wait, who are we?
Oh, I'm Corinne.
I'm Colin.
This is Blood Banter. Cue the intro. We didn't do that last
The intro just happened.
time.
So the topic on today's list: you are in your own way, and I feel like a lot of you sorry fucks are. So when I say you're in your own way, what does that mean?
You're stopping yourself from progressing and being successful in your own line of whatever you're working on, whether it be school, work, social, romantic, your laundry you've been staring at for the last 3 months.
So you kind of akin being in your own way as a example of not being productive?
I like to think so, especially when it's stopping you from progressing anywhere in your life because you're either too scared to change, too scared to make that final leap into the success you are craving, or the fact that you have some trauma or some blunders that are making you think that you have some form of restriction to follow through. Kind of dabbling in the imposter syndrome with that topic, but we can dabble.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. We always circle back to that one.
Did we do imposter syndrome?
I think so.
We'll have to check that.
Let us know in the comments if we talked about that yet. But anyway,
Appreciate it.
I'll dabble with it actually. What is imposter syndrome?
Oh, as a rehash.
Just like pit it. Let's see what it is. Maybe
we totally did do this one.
Let's see if they might be tuning in for the first time, meeting us. Sorry about that. What is imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome can be described as you feeling like you are not worthy for the position that you hold because of a perceived veil that you're putting up in front of people, whether it's real or not, because I've known a lot of people that are actually competent feel like they have imposter syndrome, and they describe it as feeling like
inadequate. Somebody's
gonna figure me out. I don't actually know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I am. So that's what imposter syndrome can be described as. There's holes in my description. Look it up for yourselves, you bunch of illiterates.
And then I find having that kind of imposter syndrome of succeeding into your own way is that you have that imposter syndrome, you don't belong there, so you're going to stop yourself from succeeding even further because you think you don't belong there.
So being in your own way can be very much akin to self-sabotage.
Oh, 100%. That'd be fantastic. Look at that.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
We're just throwing a lot of terms around. I hope you guys are keeping up. Play the video back a little bit, or slow us down, or just speed up. We're not slowing down.
Pay attention.
This
is Blood and Banter. We're just boop, 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 boop.
Put your fucking phone down for a second.
Yeah, pay attention. I like the attention.
And fact check us.
Do not do that. We're not, we have no degrees in this. We're just siblings that like to yap. So.
Banter. So, self-sabotage is really what I took away from you're in your own way. And what I mean by that, in colloquially meaning, I can never say,
nice.
I can't say that word very smoothly, but I'm going to try anyway.
That's a really nice one.
What I mean by that is, it's kind of like stepping up to a diving board.
Okay.
So we're on a decently high diving board, and your friends are all right. Well, go jump in. Your buddies jump in. You all go here. It's your turn next. You're about to do it. You get to the edge. It's like, oh man, I got a cramp.
Oh.
I got a cramp in my toes. I gotta get down. So whether the cramp was real or not, and let's just say for this discussion, the cramp really didn't happen. So you're inventing a situation to get yourself out of something that could be actually very good for you and miss out on it. Because how cool would it be to jump off that diving board that you've always wanted to? We all know what I'm talking about. Get the job. Talk to that girl. Get that dog. That kind of shit.
Got that dog in you.
And we can get a little bit more narrowed with that. We can say that an even better example of self-sabotage could be you are going to the pool with your friends. You know there's a diving board, so you intentionally kick the fuck out of a corner, breaking your toe, so that you have an excuse to not go swimming because you know they're probably going to try going on that diving board.
Or wear the wrong type of bathing suit, so you have the excuse of, oh, if I go, you're just going to fall off.
There you go.
There you go.
Hers is way less violent than mine.
And you know.
But you can kind of see the direction that we're taking this.
Mm-hmm.
And I have met a surprising amount of people.
I feel like I am one of these people too. I feel like we've all kind of had that situation
where... Are you?
I'm slowly... I got my frontal lobe now. So I'm slowly...
Where'd you find it?
I was in my pants. It was in the dryer. I found it with the lint.
So does that make it smoother now?
Probably.
Smooth
Cleaner, I guess.
Brain.
Smooth brain. Yes, I'm just a smooth brain.
When you experience self-sabotage, when do you see it come up the most?
I feel, for me personally, I feel the self-sabotage happens when I'm just trying, when I'm at a certain level, and then I clock that, oh, I don't know everything in this level, so it starts to kind of fall, like, oh, I'm gonna take less and less responsibility until I'm at the bottom of the barrel, so I don't have that, oh, I'm in charge, or people can rely on me, which is terrible. I like being important. I like having that reason that people reach out. I like to have that leg up in situations, but I feel the anxiety of not fitting in because you don't match everyone else, then you start to slowly kind of crumble into your own self.
So your self-sabotage is born from imposter syndrome.
And that's where the link is coming from, because that's where I'm coming from, especially when it comes to sports. I'm, medium level at best. I'm not at all good, but that's where it comes from, where I see so many people kind of at the same level, so if I push myself, I can get there. But then I realize that I'm not at all doing anything where other people are doing. I'm kind of eating in a way that I'm getting a lot of energy, but I'm not, having strict diets. So there's that. Or I'm training, but I'm not every day grinding for 4 hours at the gym. I'm going 4 or 5 times a week with the other responsibilities I have in my life. So I'm kind of feeling like, oh, I shouldn't be grouped with these people because I'm not doing the work that they are doing. So I'm on a whole different level. And then
what are they doing?
Oh, they are training. They have the professional coaches. They have coaches. They have professional handlers. They're having meal plans and preps. They're going to the gym constantly. They have very strict programming. And then I'm just I have a really nice program because my coach is fantastic. And then I have a minimalist diet situation where, okay, well, I know for me...
A minimalist diet?
I'm getting there. So in a diet plan, a minimalist diet plan in the sense of, all right, I have the 3 things to focus on, because if I have restricted diet, then I will fall into an eating disorder, and I know myself. So I can't restrict myself from eating certain things. I can say I'm, having portion control, which is very important. But if I say I'm going to strictly not eat anything, then that's going to fall into really bad habits. So, but other people, they have no-goes for anything. So there's that. So being lumped with these really professional, very well-disciplined people, and then myself, I'm like, all right, well, there's the imposter syndrome. I shouldn't be lumped into that, and that's my own self-sabotage, because I want to be with them. I want to network with them.
Now, I'm going to try pulling this into something that you're in your own way a little bit tighter.
There you go.
Let's take your example of
you're
standing on the stage with people that you perceive to be
better
at a higher level
yes.
athletically.
Yeah.
Now, would you say that understanding that makes you more likely to do things that would keep you at a mediocre level?
That tends to happen, yeah.
When? How? Are you do you think you could be training harder and just don't?
Oh yeah, because I'm in so many things right now, or because my job takes me out of it takes me different places, that if I kind of knuckle down, I did this one sport at all times and I focused on it, and then I prioritize this one sport, I'm pretty sure I can be a lot better. But because I like to do different things, I have different hobbies, I have different interests, then I'm kind of just taking myself out of the equation, because I'm not just focusing on this portion of my life, I have other things to focus on.
I like where you're going with that.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't what I asked.
No, what you asked?
Well, I was asking, because you know that there are people that are at a higher level than you, do you take that recognition and then self-sabotage your own training and your own practices?
Oh, do I make myself worse because of this?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. But I don't progress in a way that I know what they do, and if I do what they do, I should do that, but I don't.
So we're going to tie a bow in that, and that's done. That idea is clear.
Okay.
Now we're going to jump right into what you said, which is more interesting now. You spread yourself out more so that you have a higher sense of success in wider areas? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I mean, success comes with the territory when you progress in other things, but I find that because I have so many interests that I just don't want to focus on one thing because I like to do different things. It's not because I want success in so many things. It's because life is short and I don't know if I'm going to have the same soul next time I'm born again. So I want to make sure I'm doing so many things that bring me joy.
So it's a jack of all trades approach.
I like a jack of all trades. It's like being a toolbox of a person because
oftentimes better than a master of one.
Well, yeah, because also I like going to the gym and I like to do that and I like lifting heavy circles, but also I like to read. So there's those they're different things. But then I also like to punch things, but I also like weapons. So it's kind of I don't want to focus on one thing because I know there's so much out there. But if I did focus on one thing, I'm sure I'd be very, very successful at this one thing. But because I have so many things going on, yeah.
Now, in the spirit of you're in your own way, how does that tie into this?
I feel like I'm in my own way in the sense that because I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
What I'm taking out of this, and I think that the viewers can really take me out of this hole.
Help me! I have no idea where I went with this. I have no idea where I went with this.
I'm dropping you a ladder here.
Thanks, Jesus. A rope would be helpful. I don't know. I'm just talking.
The benefit to our viewers that we can have is that you're in your own way only if you think that being perfect at a single thing is valuable. I can see that. I don't think that you actually give a shit about being perfect at one thing. You value more the experience that you have within a finite lifetime.
There you go.
So you would be in your own way if you were just picking one thing and then just kind of camping on it. Mm-hmm. I am a powerlifter.
Because that also
That's what I do.
I find that also brings disappointment. That if you are this one thing for so long and then something doesn't go your way, or you get an injury, or something happens, like you fall out of your weight class, or if you get an injury that you can't do it anymore, or life changes and you can't train as well, then you kind of lose yourself. You lose your identity that you hung on to for so long. And I find that also happens with young athletes or burnout with academics. There you go. Shout out. Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that you want to have a diversified portfolio of things that you could be successful in.
I want to have a lot of things going on. So if something falls through, then at least I have the other things that I can focus on. So if I break my leg, well, I can't train on the 3 sports that I'm part of. But I also have my hobbies of watching, or like playing games, or reading, or hiking, because you can kind of stomp around with your broken leg.
Now this is a great opportunity for us to plug Corinne's new approach to self-actualization. The shotgun Corinne approach to self-actualization, starting with everything all of the time, and then something will work.
Yeah, you
buy it now.
You kind of just throw it out there and hope something falls in a hole.
Shotgun approach.
There you go. I don't know where to go with this. I'm so sorry.
That was good.
Great.
Because
I did it.
You're in your own way is such a cool idea. And you've done a really good job giving a concept of doing a whole bunch of things to feel successful in it. But you can also flip that. You can also say that if I do 1,000 things, I will at least win at one of them, because I would hate to dedicate myself to one thing, because I would hate it if I failed at that one thing.
It's also kind of a mentality thing where if you're doing this one thing constantly, you might end up getting super bored and you're stuck in a rut because you can't wiggle through. Because sometimes
some people just don't. Like,
some people don't. I mean, like, I'm not, again, I'm one person. I can't speak for everyone.
salmon forever.
Oh my god, salmon.
You know what I mean? Some people just have an affinity to a thing.
And that's okay. That's a thing. Like, I don't know.
And it highlights such interesting things about the human psyche. You know?
Like, latch onto something like, this is mine.
Well, it highlights things that is kind of, I think we can even call it endemic in a human sense. We strive for meaning in our lives.
Okay.
We strive for purpose and success and all that. So the getting in your own way is kind of a ugly blemish on an otherwise beautiful physique of the human psyche.
Okay.
Because getting in your own way implies that you have such a significance to a thing that you're overwhelmed with it. You know?
I like that, yeah.
Kind of like the diving board. It's like, wow, this would be so fucking epic. Oh my god. And then you just don't know what to do with it. So,
the fear to take the leap.
Diving boards,
there
though. Diving boards is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The getting in your own way is always something that I've known a lot of people to do this.
Yeah.
I've known a lot of people that have an ability to be successful in basically fucking anything. Like, we all had friends growing up that just kind of had this savant syndrome with whatever it is, like either math or music or art or whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And they say they want to do things, and then all of a sudden end up just kind of camping where they're at.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm working this mediocre job. I'm getting paid. I'm hitting all of the goals that I want. Now, first of all, if you're getting your bills paid, you're comfy, it's kind of a good life. But I'm specifically talking about people that want to aspire for more, and they end up shooting themselves in the foot every chance they get.
Okay.
Every chance that it comes up. So I'm not talking about the people that are comfortable with being in a stable position.
Okay.
Because we can't say that, because that is projecting our own values onto other people, which isn't fair, because not everybody has ambition. Not everybody has a knack to climb.
Yeah, and that's okay. If you're comfy, you don't need to aspire for more.
So that's why I'm saying this specifically, because I don't want this to come off as like everybody should always climb, because one, that's kind of impossible.
Yeah, that's going to get really clunky really
if everybody's all
that, my guys, because we don't want to get detained at the border.
I like hugs.
There you go. That's where we start.
Detaining is just like a really official hug.
That's not at all. No.
Especially if I tell them that I have guns.
Oh, we're not doing that. We're going to cut that also.
We shouldn't cut them.
We
would give a really hard hug.
Video. Because I like my job.
Do you go to the States?
Yeah. Yeah, we should cut that.
Corinne does not say anything poorly about the United States, only Cohen. Fuck you guys.
Shut the fuck up.
So,
my brother needs to shut the fuck up.
We're cutting it anyway.
Okay, great. We're cutting it. Jesus Christ.
And now we're back.
Fuck, my ass is really tired now.
Because she was puckering. I've said some things.
Okay.
Here's what I said.
No. Okay.
So, getting in your own way. Now, what would be, when would be a great time for you to look at your current situation and say, fuck, I gotta get out of my own way?
Probably when it starts affecting parts of your life.
That's nice and broad. Let's get some more specific.
Fantastic. So I feel like when you're getting your own way, then kind of, I guess work-life balance, we can dabble a little bit. So if you are feeling inadequate in your job and it's kind of leaking into, say, you're starting fights at home, or your training is being stopped, or you're not eating as well and you're sleeping bad, then maybe you should take a step back and look at what's going on at work, and then, maybe you're sabotaging yourself at work, or you feel inadequate at your work and you just don't want to do the training, or...
What would be an example of sabotaging yourself at work if the intention is to climb the ladder?
If you're not putting things in on time, or you're just ignoring emails, or you're not showing up on time, or you're not doing a task at hand, or you're being super rude and mean to your coworkers, and you're being argumentative, or if you're not being a team player. Like, there's a lot of things that could sabotage, like future promotions, raises, opportunity for you to be a team lead, or
maybe not taking more initiative when you could see opportunities.
There you go.
Because we just recently recorded a really cool episode about burnout and stuff like that.
We did.
So we're having a little bit of a
we're leaking.
Is it a Venn diagram?
Yeah, Venn diagram.
We're having some overlap onto this.
My bad.
No, it's good. But in the context of getting in your own way, I think it would fit better in the workplace for you to say that you could hand in better work, but hand in just good enough work so that you stay the status quo.
Yeah.
Which again, we aren't just talking about people that don't want that and are having this dissonance in this juxtaposition of.
You could sabotage your possible growth in the workforce if you don't want to grow and you want to stay put. Then you could you could sabotage, like, oh, I don't want to move up, so I'm going to be a terrible team lead, so no one recommends me to be a lead anymore.
And there are good reasons to not want to climb in a job role, because if you climb a pay rate, that could also put you into a new tax bracket sometimes. I've seen that kind of thing happen. So people intentionally don't take a pay raise because the pay raise isn't high enough for the tax increase to make it make sense.
Yeah.
So the responsibility increase and the amount of extra tax responsibility, which is kind of shitty for that to be a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So imagine doing so good in a job that somebody offers you a position that is more prestigious, and you do inherently get paid more.
You do.
But you have in the back of your mind,
yeah,
fuck, I shouldn't take this because all of a sudden I have to pay the government more than what I would be getting as a raise. So you end up kind of. So really, it's
lowballing a lot of things.
It's a plateaued point.
Oh, right? Yeah, 100%. And that's okay if you're at where you want to be and you don't want to progress. That is fantastic. You're comfy. You're getting a lot out of work. You're satisfied with work. You're getting enough pay to make your life easy. That's fantastic. You know how to move up.
For sure, and not everybody has a shitload of ambition.
Oh my gosh, no! If you're comfy and you're gonna stay there for the next 40 years, that is fantastic. Honestly, sooner the better.
Sooner the better.
Sooner the better. Like, if you're going into a job and you meet where you want to be and that's where you want to be for the rest of your life, that's fantastic. I hope that you get that as soon as possible.
Yeah, and realistically,
You comfy?
I do. No, I'm never comfy. I've been burdened. I've been. Itchy. Where the fuck did
Sorry, I was thinking like
itchy. Why were you thinking of that? Are you itchy right now?
Because when you feel like antsy.
Okay.
Because my brain, this is a saying I've been saying for a while.
Itchy.
Like, you're antsy and you're like, oh, there's ants in your pants. Ah, itchy.
That was so unhinged. And
I'm sorry.
It was the best.
Just slipping in there.
I'm so uncomfortable. Itchy. We're gonna play that back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stitch this video. We're gonna have that playing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was fucking hilarious.
Oh, okay.
But the point I was getting is I'm chronically looking for more, which is a character flaw of mine. I'm never comfortable.
You're never self-sabotaging because you're climbing that ladder real fast.
Yeah.
You're fighting, kicking people.
Yeah.
Like that chain from Pirates of the Caribbean, where everyone's like trying to climb the chain so you don't get crashed.
Yeah. Good reference. Yeah, we're making some good movie references. I did Finding Nemo and.
Catch us on our live stream when we're watching movies. Not gonna happen, but.
I think we should do
that. That'd be really fun.
We watch smut inspired videos.
We read smut. That's weird. We shouldn't be doing that.
I don't read.
Or read too much.
So, self-sabotage.
Oh, no.
In conclusion. To tie it all up, self-sabotage, I think, would be it's a symptom of or a blemish on a beautiful, beautiful body of the human spirit.
Okay.
These voluptuous curves and beautiful hair of the human spirit.
Good
Now,
skin.
Good skin. Choose whatever color you want.
We're inclusive.
Whatever texture you want. But the beautifulness is that we search for meaning and purpose in our lives.
Oh, yes.
Right? And, and we find it in a lot of different ways. Some beautiful, beautiful examples fit into religion, into faith and spirituality.
Yes.
Those are great examples of meaning and direction.
Yes.
Others are searching for meaning in a performance setting, sports, career, and some a little more degenerate wise are search for conquest of other humans. You know, there are some people in the world right now,
you know,
at the heads of state that we all know.
Can you shut the fuck up?
Putin is who I'm talking about.
Shut the fuck up.
Vive
Stop bringing
la
shit.
revolution.
Stop bringing shit in this house. Brush your shoes off before you enter.
I'm not sorry.
Stop, you should not put that in.
I'm keeping it.
No.
You do the edit.
No. Okay, I can do the edit. I'll gladly do the edit.
No, I'm keeping this one.
No.
I'll leave the satire of the states.
No.
Oh, that's not what I meant to say.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, the point I was getting at is that the human spirit searches for meaning in a lot of different ways and finds really good answers in it and not so good answers in others. But the point of this conversation is to discuss the people who have found meaning and found the thing that they want to aim at, but trip themselves up along the path because they fear something. They fear the failure.
Fear the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. I'm
a big fear of the unknown person.
It's a crazy combination of projection. It's a combination of self-esteem issues. It's a combination of imposter syndrome, or sometimes you just don't want to pay more tax. Those are also reasons that we probably will see self-sabotage. Now, here's the thing I want to start talking about. I want some anecdotes from viewers where self-sabotage actually comes in. Tell me somebody in your life who has self-sabotaged themselves. And you don't have to stick to our definition of it, because we're just a bunch of bantering buffoons.
We're just siblings that like to talk.
Indeed. And we're looking to gain more knowledge. So if you have any friends that have done the whole saboteur of thyself, pretty sure I said that wrong. Saboteur. Yeah. If they do that, tell us about it. But until then,
I'm Corinne.
and I'm Cohen. Go the fuck to sleep.